Welcome to Mindset Hub Tube. Tonight I want to tell you a story that may feel strangely familiar. Maybe not because you've lived the exact same moments, but because you felt the same silence, the kind that settles into a room after another dream has been quietly postponed. Have you ever looked around and wondered why everyone else seems to be moving forward while you're standing still? Have you ever smiled in front of people, then gone home carrying a weight you couldn't explain? If you have, stay with me, because this isn't the story of someone extraordinary. It's the story of someone who discovered that ordinary people carry extraordinary strength long before they realize it. On the edge of a quiet town stood an abandoned train station. Years ago, hundreds of travelers filled its platforms every day. Now, only the wind remembered their footsteps. A young man named Adrian often visited that forgotten station after work. Every evening, he sat on the same weathered wooden bench, watching trains speed past without stopping. "They don't stop here anymore," the old groundskeeper once said with a gentle smile. Adrian nodded. "I know, but you still come. I guess I'm waiting." "For what?" Adrian stared at the tracks. "I don't know anymore." The old man didn't answer. Sometimes the kindest people understand that silence is carrying a conversation words would only interrupt. Adrian's life looked ordinary. He worked long hours in a warehouse. He rented a tiny apartment whose walls seemed to grow smaller every month. His phone was filled with reminders of bills. His social media was filled with reminders of everyone else's success. Friends were buying houses. Former classmates were becoming entrepreneurs. Some were traveling the world. Others seemed permanently happy. Every scroll whispered the same painful sentence: "You're behind." He tried ignoring it. He tried working harder. He tried pretending he didn't care. But comparison is a patient thief. It never kicks the door down. It simply keeps returning until one day you willingly hand over your confidence. One rainy evening, Adrian looked into his bathroom mirror. His reflection looked exhausted. When did I become this person? No answer came, only the sound of rain against the window. That night, he couldn't sleep. His mind replayed every mistake he'd ever made, every opportunity he'd missed, every conversation where he'd wished he'd spoken differently, every dream that had slowly faded into the background, while survival took center stage. Morning arrived without permission. At work, boxes felt heavier than usual. Time moved slower. His supervisor noticed. "You all right? Just tired." "Tired from work?" Adrian almost laughed. "No, tired from thinking." The supervisor smiled knowingly. The mind can carry more weight than the body. Those words stayed with Adrian for days. Weeks passed. Nothing changed. Or at least that's what he believed. Because change rarely announces itself. It arrives disguised as tiny choices no one applauds. One evening, instead of collapsing onto the couch after work, Adrian decided to walk around the neighborhood. Only 10 minutes. Nothing impressive. Halfway through the walk, he almost turned back. "This is pointless." But another voice answered. So was sitting on the couch. He kept walking. The next evening he walked again. Not because he felt motivated, because he had already started. There is a quiet difference between motivation and commitment. Motivation asks how you feel. Commitment asks who you're becoming. Weeks later, Adrian noticed something strange. The problems hadn't disappeared. Bills still existed. Stress still visited. But his mind wasn't drowning inside them anymore. It was learning to breathe. One afternoon, he returned to the abandoned station. The old groundskeeper was sweeping leaves. "You look different," the old man said. "I do? You've stopped waiting." Adrian looked confused. "I'm still sitting here." "Yes, but you're no longer hoping someone else changes your life." That sentence settled deeper than Adrian expected. He had spent years waiting. Waiting for confidence. Waiting for opportunity. Waiting for permission. Waiting until he felt ready. What if readiness wasn't something that arrived? What if it was something built? Days became months. Adrian started waking before sunrise. Not because someone told him successful people wake early, because dawn reminded him something beautiful happened every day without asking for attention. He began reading stories from people he'd never heard of. Not famous people, ordinary people. A mechanic who learned painting at 62. A nurse who started studying astronomy after retirement. A father who built a small library for children in his neighborhood using discarded wood. None of them waited for perfect circumstances. They simply honored the day they had. One cold winter morning, Adrian noticed an elderly woman struggling to carry groceries. He hurried over. "May I help?" She smiled. "You remind me of my husband. I've never met him." No, but he believed strong people notice small things. As they walked together, she asked, "What do you do?" "I move boxes." She stopped walking. "No." "What? What do you do?" "I just told you." She shook her head. "That's how you earn money." She smiled gently. "I'm asking what you do with your life." Adrian had no answer. For the first time, he realized earning a living and building a life were not the same thing. That question echoed for months. Slowly, he discovered the answer wasn't hidden somewhere far away. It was hiding inside the things that made him forget time. He enjoyed fixing broken furniture. He loved creating something useful from things everyone else had abandoned. Old chairs became beautiful again. Broken tables became stronger than before. Neighbors started asking for help. He never advertised. He simply cared. People noticed. One customer asked, "How did you learn this?" Adrian smiled. "I learned by ruining a lot of wood." They laughed. Failure had become something different. Not proof he wasn't capable. Proof he was practicing. One spring afternoon, a teenage boy knocked on Adrian's workshop door. "My bike is broken." Adrian looked at it. "It can be fixed." The boy sighed. "My dad says it's junk." Adrian ran his hand across the scratched frame. People call things junk when they stop imagining what they could become. The boy watched quietly. Hours later, the bicycle looked almost new. His eyes widened. "I thought it was finished." Adrian smiled. So did the bicycle. Something unexpected happened after that day. The boy kept returning, not because his bicycle needed repairs, because his confidence did. He struggled in school, compared himself constantly, believed he wasn't smart enough. One evening he asked Adrian, "Do you think people are born confident?" Adrian looked at an old piece of cracked oak resting against the wall. "See that wood?" "Yeah. It spent years outside in storms. It looks damaged." "It is. So why keep it?" "Because damage changes the shape, not the value." The boy sat silently. Adrian continued, "Confidence isn't believing nothing can hurt you. It's discovering you can still become something beautiful after life leaves its marks." Months passed. The workshop slowly became more than a workshop. People came with broken furniture. Sometimes they left having repaired something invisible inside themselves. A single mother cried after restoring her late father's rocking chair. A retired firefighter rebuilt an old desk and found joy he thought had disappeared forever. A college student admitted she wasn't afraid of failing exams. She was afraid of disappointing everyone. Adrian rarely gave advice. He mostly listened. People often discover their own answers once someone finally hears their questions. Years earlier, Adrian believed strength meant carrying everything alone. Now he understood strength often begins the moment you allow honesty to enter the room. One evening, the old groundskeeper visited the workshop. He looked around with quiet pride. "You found your train?" Adrian laughed. "I never boarded one." "No, you built your own tracks." Those words filled the room with silence. The good kind. The kind that feels like sunrise before anyone notices the sky changing. Life, however, has a habit of testing new foundations. A violent storm struck the town one autumn night. Roofs collapsed. Trees blocked roads. The workshop flooded. Machines were ruined. Months of work disappeared beneath muddy water. Adrian stood inside the destroyed building. His chest tightened. For a brief moment, the old voice returned. "See? Nothing lasts. Why even try?" He nearly believed it. Then someone knocked on the broken door. It was the teenage boy. Behind him stood the elderly woman, then the firefighter, then the single mother, then neighbors Adrian barely recognized. One by one, they entered carrying buckets, Tools, towels, and quiet determination. No speeches, no dramatic promises, just people choosing not to leave someone alone. The boy picked up a soaked toolbox. Where do we start? Adrian looked around the damaged room, then smiled through tears. Anywhere. For 3 days they worked together, not because rebuilding was easy, because shared burdens become lighter even when they remain heavy. When the workshop finally reopened weeks later, it wasn't perfect. Some walls still showed water stains. Some shelves didn't match. Nothing looked exactly as before. Yet somehow, everything felt stronger. Adrian realized something profound. The strongest places are rarely the ones that never break. They're the ones rebuilt with love, patience, and many hands refusing to give up. Years rolled by. The abandoned train station was eventually restored. Families returned. Children laughed across the platforms. Flowers grew where weeds once ruled. One afternoon, Adrian sat again on the same wooden bench. The old groundskeeper, now walking with a cane, joined him. "You remember the first day we met?" "I do." "You were waiting." Adrian smiled. "I thought life had forgotten me." "And now?" Adrian watched a train arrive. People stepped off carrying luggage, hopes, worries, dreams. "I think life was waiting for me to stop measuring distance and start appreciating direction." The old man nodded. "Most people spend years asking when they'll arrive. And the wiser question is whether today's steps are leading somewhere worth going." As evening painted the sky with soft orange light, Adrian noticed a young woman sitting alone on another bench. Her shoulders carried the unmistakable weight of silent disappointment. He recognized it immediately. Years ago it had been his own. He walked over. "Mind if I sit?" She shrugged. "I guess." After a long silence, she whispered, "I feel like everyone else knows what they're doing." Adrian smiled gently. "So did I." She looked surprised. "You, I once believed I'd missed every opportunity. What changed?" He looked toward the railway tracks stretching beyond the horizon. "I stopped chasing the life I thought would impress people and started building the life that allowed me to sleep peacefully." She wiped away a tear. "What if I'm too late?" Adrian looked at the sunset. "The sun has been setting every evening for longer than anyone can remember." She nodded slowly. "And every morning, it rises again." "Exactly." She smiled for the first time. Sometimes hope doesn't arrive like fireworks. Sometimes it arrives like a single match lighting a dark room. If you've stayed with this story until now, maybe part of you has recognized yourself in Adrian. Maybe you've been carrying invisible pressure. Maybe you've been comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. Maybe you've convinced yourself that because life hasn't gone according to plan, your story has already been decided. But stories aren't decided in the difficult chapters. They're decided by the courage to keep turning the page. You don't need to become someone else to build a meaningful life. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need everyone's approval. You don't need every answer before taking the next step. You only need the willingness to move, even when progress feels too small to notice. One conversation, one habit, one promise kept to yourself. One sunrise chosen over another excuse. One act of kindness. One quiet decision to continue. Years from now, someone may look at your life and call you strong. They'll see your confidence, your peace, your steady smile. What they won't see are the lonely evenings, the difficult mornings, the countless moments you almost gave up, but didn't. Real strength rarely makes headlines. It quietly changes lives, beginning with your own. So tonight, before you sleep, don't ask whether you're already strong enough. Ask yourself something far more powerful. What small promise can I keep tomorrow? Because greatness is rarely built through one extraordinary day. It is built through ordinary days, honored with extraordinary consistency. Your future isn't waiting for a perfect version of you. It's waiting for the version of you who refuses to quit. Thank you for spending this time with Mindset HubTube. If this story touched your heart, helped you see yourself differently, or reminded you that hope is never as far away as it feels, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who may need these words today, and leave a comment. telling us the lesson that impacted you the most. Until next time, take care of your mind, protect your hope, and keep walking your own path, one quiet step at a time.